Hi, I'm Barbara Wainwright, the founder of Wainwright Global Institute of Professional Coaching, and I am here with TRISHA Harp. Welcome, TRISHA.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here today.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you here on the show, and I know you have a really great background with powerful information for people that are looking to hire a coach and move forward in their life. Can you share with me what made you decide to be a coach?
You know, honestly, I've sort of been on this track my entire life. I remember when I was in second grade, we went to family therapy and I said, I want to be a psychologist. I didn't really know what that meant. And then when I was in junior high school, all of my friends called me Dr. Trish because they always would come and share all of their, innermost thoughts and secrets with me. And as I was finishing up my psych degree, my undergrad psych degree, I realized I really didn't want to sit in an office all day long and talk about people's pasts for years and years with the same client, truth be told. And so the idea of doing webinars and speeches and seminars and coaching really came to the forefront of my mind because there's a direct difference between therapy and coaching. Coaching really is forward thinking, and that's really what I'm all about. I want to help people in a very condensed period of time find out who they are, what they want to do, and actually make it happen for them. And so that's the path that I'm on, is figuring out how to aid couples and individuals with their own process in life and their own success, and how to make that happen and not go backwards but go forwards.
Awesome. Can you share with me what genre of coaching that you love to do and why did you choose that genre?
Sure. I've so since my senior year of college, I decided, like I said, I wanted to do speeches and seminars and coaching, and had no idea what my focus was going to be. When I met my husband, 3 days into our meeting each other, we decided that he would talk about business issues and I would talk about couple issues. And I still didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing. And then ended up doing a master's degree in human development and family science.
Nice.
And very serendipitously wrote my thesis on spousal satisfaction in entrepreneurial couples. So my dad was an entrepreneur. Together, my parents had started a school. I worked for a startup not-for-profit right out of college. And my husband is now a serial entrepreneur. So it really just blended my whole entire life into this subject matter. So I've really spent the last decade or more working with couples where at least one individual is an entrepreneur. And a lot of times I call myself not necessarily a coach or a facilitator, but a translator. But because I've been in so many different roles, child, spouse, entrepreneur myself, I have such an understanding of the entrepreneurial world and the crazy roller coaster we ride every day. And so I translate for couples what the other individual is thinking and feeling in a way that is not offensive or puts people on the defensive.
Right.
So it's really just been an amazing ride myself, finding this niche and really pursuing it.
Yeah, that's so great. I didn't know that you had written your thesis on that. And I know that being an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur myself, I have said that I'm married to my work and just
Yeah.
had to ditch all even thought of having a relationship, because when you are an entrepreneur, you are married to your work, and it really has to come. If you're passionate about it, if you love it, then it comes first. And that's really difficult for a lot of people to accept. Yeah.
Well, it's difficult for a lot of people to accept, but at the same time, there are, like, my own data actually shows that a lot of spouses do accept it. It's just figuring out as a couple really how to have those regular touch points with one another, so you don't lose sight of what's really, really the most important thing in the long run, right? Now, not all couples are meant to stay together or be together, and entrepreneurship is really difficult. And I'm finding now that I'm sort of kind of shifting my focus from entrepreneurship to those in high intensity positions,
There you go.
because there's a
Same thing.
lot of the same intense focus that all of these individuals bring with them, and their partners, they need to learn how to share about the business in a way that is okay for them and also okay for their partners, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
there's, my data has taught me so much. And so I come towards this coaching practice, not just with my own insights and thoughts and knowledge from my degree, but also from this vast amount of data that I have collected personally.
I love it. I love it. I believe you're just in a really important niche and can serve and really help a lot of people because of that. Would you mind sharing a story about a success that you've had with a client? I'd love to hear one.
Sure. I had one client semi-recently. It was a couple, and he's older and she is a little bit younger, and so their communication styles were just completely on different wavelengths. He's an entrepreneur, she's not, and they were about to get married and wanted to make sure that marriage was a good thing, but B, be 100% on the same page prior to having children after they get married.
Yes.
And so I have a program that I developed. It's a 7-session program, and it's pretty intensive. And I've got a whole workbook full of exercises that go along with this program. And it was really remarkable. And afterwards, he basically has shared with, I don't know how many people at this point, he's my biggest champion, but he has shared with so many people how not only have I changed and potentially saved this marriage that he's in, but also I have improved his business relationships as well. Nice. Because so many of the communication principles that I talk about and that I share are also, they're equally as beneficial in an office environment. So, we often talk about the relationships that we have personally, but we sometimes avoid our business partnerships and our business relationships. And the same communication principles can be used in both places. So he's, one of my biggest successes, I think, because I think it's so because he goes on and, has made me so many referrals and talks about me all the time and sends me people to talk with. So he's my biggest champion, and I just love that.
Well, thank you for sharing about that story. And I can see how having a successful client like that would be paying dividends for a long time to come with the referrals and such. And it's so rewarding when you have a client that has those kinds of successes that it just, for me, that really fills my heart,
It does. Absolutely. It definitely, it feeds my soul is what I say.
Yes, that's right.
I walk away from sessions like that. Just, for whatever my clients get, I get equally as much, if not more from them, knowing that it helps.
I love coaching. Okay. So is there something you'd like to share with our audience before we close today? Something that a good teacher. Sorry.
Okay. So, I often talk about, let's start at the end, right? When I'm coaching clients and when I'm talking with entrepreneurs and their spouses, or really anyone, I say, let's start at the end of your life and work our way back, right? Because, with what life has to offer and all of the focus that we spend on our businesses and our family and everything, I really try to focus on what is the most important thing in your life, who are the most important people in your life. Nice. And you're just going to know that there are going to be ups and downs financially and with your businesses and with everything in life. And so to me, the most important thing in life is people and the people that you surround yourself with. And so what I like to leave people with is this notion of how I want you to think about on a regular basis, how do you ensure that the individuals that are most important to you in your life today are still with you at the end of your roller coaster, right? Because you might lose your house, you might declare bankruptcy, you might do a myriad of things. You might have an amazing life and you might have, billions of dollars in the bank. But what is it all worth if you don't have those individuals to share it with? And so what I like to leave people with is, regardless of what life brings, always be thoughtful and considerate and ask the people around you what you can do to ensure that they're there at the end, What do they need to be happy? Because life, as I write in my chapter, you know, we all talk about the golden rule is do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, or treat others as you want to be treated. But
Yes.
the truth of the matter is we all give and receive love differently. And so instead of treating others as you want to be treated, treat others as they want to be treated. Find out how others want to be treated and then do that. Just 5 minutes a week even. Treat the people around you the way they want to be treated, and that is one way to ensure that they will be with you at the end of your roller coaster ride.
Wow, that is such great advice. And I really never thought about that in terms of the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. Not everybody wants to be treated like you, right? So it makes
That's right.
so much sense. I did a study, not a study, but I reviewed the 5 languages of love. And that was such an eye-opener for me to find out that there are 5 different languages of love for one thing, but some people just like to be told that they're loved. And that really does it for them. And for me, it's like, no, that's just words. Show me, you know?
Right. Right. It makes a huge difference. Actually, I am going to get up for 1 second.
Okay.
And in addition to writing this book, or I suppose one of the outcomes of writing the chapter for this book and having it about the platinum rule versus the golden rule is that I created another little book, which is Me, You, a 52-week guide towards making appreciation simple and habitual. And it takes all of those concepts that I just discussed, breaks it down so simply, and gives you and your partner a directive to choose every single week,
Nice.
and then rate the actual task, not the execution of the task, and share with your partner, you know, and that way, and you share with your partner what you think about it. So I take sort of the 5 love languages, actually.
Yes.
And I incorporate them through this book with all these different tasks so that you yourself will know what you like, right? Because I hear a lot of times people say, well, I would share with my partner what I want, but I don't really know.
Right.
And so this book helps people to know what they want.
I love that. So would you mind, what's the name of the book again?
It is Me, You, a 52-week guide towards making appreciation simple and habitual.
I love that. Trisha, what a gift you are to the world with that book and contributing the chapter and the coaching and the niche that you chose to get into. I really appreciate everything that you've done and what you're bringing to the world and the difference you're making. Thank you so much for taking this interview with me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me and inviting me to write a chapter in the book. It was a great instigator ignition point for the secondary book, and I'm very excited to see where it takes us all.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you.